I'm not gonna lie. Each week after I release a video, I take a bit of a breather and decide what I'm gonna cover the following week. When a new release title or DLC drops, that makes my decision easier. This week did take some time to decide. Now I've got some mates who want to hear my thoughts on Terminator Resistance, while another viewer has suggested going back to Mafia Definitive Edition to see if the bugs have been patched out. Though I'm glad to be going back to a re-release of a title that's only a year or so old, with Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition that I played on the Xbox Series X. Now, I've previously covered Devil May Cry 5 when it originally released on a channel that I used to manage.
There was some unpleasantness. I can never go back.
Not only was it a return to form for the Devil May Cry series, now DMC wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't a Devil May Cry game. Devil May Cry 5 was a fantastic story alone, and so far has been the only game that Mrs. Duty has ever finished. Devil May Cry 5's story, if you're unfamiliar with it, follows the character of Dante, who is a demon hunter for hire, taking on a new threat, Urizen the Demon King, and getting the ever-loving shit handed to him. Now, if again you're unfamiliar with Dante, he's taken out all manner of demonic creatures and saved the world countless of times. Devil May Cry 1 and 3 give us some pretty great adventures. We don't talk about Devil May Cry 2.
There was some unpleasantness. I can never go back.
And the anime series 2 is also pretty rad. Devil May Cry 4 introduced us to a new character of Nero, who, long story short, joins up with Dante in the devil hunting business. Anyway, in Devil May Cry 5, Dante gets the shit kicked out of him, Nero gets his demonic arm ripped off him and gets a new mechanical one, and tries to save the day with the help of his new friend and character, V. If you've never played a Devil May Cry game before, Devil May Cry 5 is legitimately a great place to start, as it provides a full recap and the characters are pretty straightforward. Now, Mrs. Duty picked up and understood basically everything about Devil May Cry 5 without pulling out Google and figuring out who was who in the zoo. Now, just like well with every special edition of Devil May Cry ever, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition doesn't change the formula. The addition is that you'll be able to play the entire campaign of Devil May Cry 5 as Dante's twin brother, Virgil. Previously in Devil May Cry games, Virgil has been involved in some way. Even in the DMC reboot game, Virgil was a big deal. In Devil May Cry 3 and 4 Special Edition, you could replay the entire campaigns as the classy twin brother of Dante. Even though Virgil wasn't in Devil May Cry 4, you could still play as him in the Special Edition of that game. Not only can we play as Virgil in this Special Edition, but the game has also been optimized for the next-gen consoles with ray tracing. Now, Devil May Cry 5 was already a fantastic looking game when it released on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Playing it now on the Series X with ray tracing, holy crap, is it a beautiful game. You'll get fantastic reflections on surfaces and in puddles, and the frame rate is as smooth as Bruce Willis's bald head. Though you might be thinking, hey Duty, should I pick up Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition if I've already played Devil May Cry 5 Normal Edition? And the answer is, maybe, but it depends on your personal love of the series. Yes, it is still the great game and story from last year, and yes, you can play the entire campaign as Virgil with improved graphics, but it doesn't really do much else. Now, if you haven't played Devil May Cry 5 before, then I recommend starting here, especially if you've got a next-gen console, but if you've already played it, there's no real point unless you want or need an excuse to go back and play the story again, or to see a next-gen game that actually wows you. I think that's what makes it hard though. When games like Shadow of the Colossus, Arkham Asylum, or a fan-favourite game gets a HD remake or remaster, there's been more than a year between its original release. Where Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition released just over a year of its original game release. It's a little bit like Mortal Kombat or Injustice. The game releases, and then a year later or so, you get the Game of the Year edition, or the Complete Collection, or the Ultimate Edition with all the DLC. But the DLC for a Mortal Kombat game give you a heap of characters to play as, where with this, you only get Virgil and upped graphics.
You are under arrest, dirtbag.
Speaking of Virgil, his gameplay is actually pretty solid. Unlike the comedic tones of Dante or the unique strange styles of V, Virgil has a sense of upper class about him, like a rich kid being born in the Upper West Side of New York. You'll be able to use his iconic sword Yamato, which in my opinion is the best sword of the series. Now, instead of using the Force Edge, which he previously used, you'll have the Mirror's Edge, which still works the same way. You'll also have close-range fist weapons, Beowulf. Now, rather than using pistols, Virgil will summon light daggers that fire towards enemies. Virgil will also use his Devil Trigger to activate doppelganger demons, a little similar to how the Devil Trigger works for Nero in Devil May Cry 4. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is still the same great game that Devil May Cry 5 was, with the added extra of being able to play as Virgil and ray tracing. But if you've already experienced this fantastic story, there may not be much of a reason to return to it right now. There are a couple of extra new cutscenes here and there with the inclusion of Virgil as a playable character, but I don't want to spoil those for you. But if you have played Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, you can sort of guess how these roll out. If you're a Devil May Cry superfan though, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is pretty as fuck, smoother than a nice scotch, and playing as Virgil is always cool. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is available now.